Hello everyone from Nanook Lodge. Today we've got the makings of a little bit of pastry in front of us. We're going to make some apple, what I call little hand pies. If you've been following along the channel for the last few years, you know when it comes to making something with pie dough, I usually just use the stuff that I buy at the grocery store. It's really good, it's easy, you don't have to take time to mix it, and you can't mess it up. Pie dough you really can't mess up either. It just takes a little bit of patience to add the water until the dough comes together, so that you don't add too much water and it turns out nice and flaky and crispy. Here's everything we're going to need for our pastry dough. We've got flour, a little bit of salt, some sugar. We're going to use both butter and shortening to give it that richness and flakiness. And then I am going to take it easy on myself a little bit, and we're just going to use some canned apple pie filling to do that. It's already got all the cornstarch and the apples have been cooked. It works really well. But we are going to season that up. We've got cloves, allspice, nutmeg, cinnamon, ginger, and then on the top we're going to brush them with a little bit of egg so they get nice and shiny when they cook, and sprinkle them with some cinnamon sugar. Everything's prepped, ready to go. My flour, my sugar, my salt all measured out. This is my butter and my shortening. The key to this is that this is really cold, so that when it goes into the food processor, that's the easiest way to make pie dough. It breaks up into, doesn't get soft and melty and make dough. It breaks up and creates kind of like a coarse cornmeal texture. Got our apple pie filling. That came and had some pretty big chunks of apples in it. So all I did was dump it in the bowl, and then I ran my knife through it a little bit just to cut it into some smaller chunks. All our spices are measured out here. And then we got our egg that's beaten, and then we're gonna sprinkle some cinnamon sugar on it all when we're ready to pop them in the oven. So let's set up the food processor and start to make the dough. I'm just going to dump it out. Careful of that blade. And knead together just the last little bits of dough. Don't want to get it too warm. And kind of shape it into a rectangle a little bit. Then I'll wrap it with plastic wrap, put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes so I can roll it out. While my dough is chilling in the fridge, I've got all my spices, and I'm simply just going to stir them into my apple filling to really give it some boosted flavor. There. Now we've got some really tasty filling for our hand pies. All right, we've got our dough. It's nicely chilled. Might be easier to work with about half of it at a time. then I just sort of nicely trim up the edges. These, if you coat them with some cinnamon and sugar, make wonderful snacks. So I'm going to just set them off to the side. I'll bake those later. So I've got a square about like that. I'm going to cut it in 3 by 3, so I have 9. Just about like that. And then put a little bit of stuff right in the middle. About half of them. I'm going to brush a little bit of egg just to help it seal. Nice little hand pies. Put them on the tray over here. Keep making the rest. I've got a little bit of filling left, and I've got my original ones here. You can take all this pie dough and mix it together. Just give it a little knead back together and re-roll it out. It will be less tender than those because you've been working it and developing the gluten and pushing it together. But I'm going to do it anyway and use the rest of that filling up. I won't re-roll these a third time. I'll just put some cinnamon sugar on them, put them in the oven. I'll clean up and then I'll show you how to finish these off before we pop them in the oven. Okay, I'm going to brush all of these with some egg wash, and then I'm going to sprinkle cinnamon and sugar over the top of them. Pop them in the oven. These little scraps, I'm just going to sprinkle with cinnamon and sugar, and they'll finish faster than these, obviously, because these are thicker and there's double crust and all that. So if you're going to do this, put these in there, just check it after maybe about 12 minutes or so. Pull these little snacks off. It's a treat while you're waiting for the rest of your apple pie. All right, we'll pop them in the oven. Look at our beautiful apple hand pies. Little mini Pop-Tarts, if you will, although that's trademark, don't use that name. Anyway, enjoy. They're perfect for a breakfast snack. Put a little ice cream over the top and you've got a wonderful dessert. They're good warm, they're good room temperature, and you can fill them with just about anything now that you know how to make pie dough. Cheers, and thanks for tuning in to Cooking at Nana Lodge.